Willow Creek was nothing more than a small town, surrounded by dense forests and heavy fog. In this quiet town lived three childhood friends, Emma, Chloe, and Madison. Their lives were simple and ordinary until the day reality itself began to crack. On one stormy evening, the girls sat together in Emma's room while the rain hammered against the windows. Madison opened her laptop and showed them a picture of a tall, unnaturally thin man in a black suit, his face pale and completely featureless. Madison whispered, "This is Slender Man. People say he appears to those who believe in him." Chloe laughed, but Emma felt something cold crawl down her spine. The picture didn't feel like just a picture. The faceless figure seemed to stare at them, despite having no eyes. Days passed, and curiosity turned into obsession. Searching for Slender Man's stories and videos became their nightly routine. With each new discovery, Madison felt something drawing closer. She began seeing shadows moving in her room and hearing footsteps that no one else could hear. One day, Emma entered Madison's room and found her sitting alone in complete darkness, staring into an empty corner, whispering, "He's here," watching. Fear began to take hold of all of them. Chloe started seeing strange figures behind her. Emma kept waking up at night, sensing someone standing outside her bedroom door. One night, the girls went to the park, hoping to distract themselves, but Madison suddenly ran into the forest. Emma and Chloe followed, but Madison vanished as if the forest had swallowed her. When she reappeared behind them moments later, her face was pale and her eyes wide with terror. She whispered, "He was right behind you." From that moment on, their lives unraveled. Strange messages appeared on their phones. Photos of tall shadows lurking behind trees, windows opening on their own, and a tall figure appearing in their nightmares every single night. The police eventually got involved, but found nothing. To adults, it was all hallucination, fear feeding on fear. But Emma knew something real was moving in the darkness. One night changed everything. As Emma scrolled through photos on her phone, she found one she hadn't noticed before. It was from the night at the park. In the background, right behind Madison, Slender Man stood tall, head tilted toward the camera. The phone slipped from her hand. Then she heard slow, heavy footsteps in the hallway. Too long, too heavy to belong to any human. The footsteps stopped right outside her door, and a long shadow appeared beneath it. Emma escaped through the window into the rainy street. She ran between the trees, the shadows following her. Deep in the forest, he appeared in front of her, tall, faceless, moving like smoke, and beneath the pale skin of his head, something shifted, like trapped faces trying to escape. She fled into an old cabin and shut the door. But Slender Man tore it off with impossible strength and stepped inside, towering over her. His breathless presence filled the small room, and he leaned in until she felt his cold aura against her skin. He placed his long hand on her shoulder, and everything went dark. Emma woke up in a hospital bed. She was confused, silent, and terrified. Chloe and Madison visited her daily, trying to comfort her, but nothing could erase the look in Emma's eyes. On the fourth night, the end began. Emma woke to a small paper slid under her door. It showed a drawing of a little girl standing under a tree, with a long shadow stretching toward her. On the back, in twisted handwriting, were the words, "You cannot escape." Suddenly, the entire hospital went dark. Patients in the hallway stood facing the walls, motionless. Then they began turning their heads slowly toward Emma's room, as if listening to someone. Emma sensed something behind her. She turned. Slender Man stood inside the room, silent, unmoving, filling the space like a living nightmare. He reached out, placed his long hand on her shoulder, and whispered into her mind, "You belong to me now." Emma vanished in an instant. Doctors later found her room empty, only an open window and curtains swaying. Emma was officially declared missing. Weeks later, a folded piece of paper appeared on Madison's doorstep. The same drawing, a child beneath a tree, a long shadow reaching for her. At the bottom, written in distorted letters, "One more." Madison trembled as she held the paper. She understood then. Slender Man wasn't finished. He was just beginning. And so the story ends. Not with victory, but with the start of a new hunt. A growing shadow, choosing its victims silently, waiting for someone else to believe so it can come for them next.